crazy, okay? Like, give a big round of applause to Rail. Come on, guys.
All right, good evening, everybody. Yeah, hey. Hi, my name is Rael. I am born and raised in the Netherlands. And if you look like me, of course you're gonna get the question, where are you really from? You know, I'm mostly like, isn't it obvious? Isn't it clear? I am from where most minorities in the country are from. Amsterdam West. No, my mom is from Curaçao. For the expats that don't know, Curaçao is like a Dutch retirement home. My dad is also from an island with a small budget, the United Kingdom. So yeah, I have a black mom from the Caribbean. I have a white dad from the United Kingdom. I'm a little bit like Bob Marley. Only the difference is I worry. And women make me cry. And I know I don't look the part from the mixed race guy. If you see a mixed race guy, you know they're tall, they're handsome, they look like an NBA All-Star. I turned out looking like a retired skateboarder. And it's mostly they say, hey, you should have been the best of both worlds. Yes, what I got instead, lactose intolerant and cannot eat spicy food. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ate spicy food, it was a problem. The solution, anybody? Exactly, that's a bigger problem. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if I ever have to do an episode of Hot Ones, they gotta change that name to Shitty Ones. Yeah, so the proper term actually for what I am right now is actually biracial. Biracial is the proper term for being light-skinned, but I do not say that a lot because every time I say biracial, some idiot goes, so you suck dick? Because they get confused with bisexual. See, it happens once, I was fine with it. Second time was all right. But the third time I was like, hey, it's getting a little bit offensive now. Like, why am I always the one sucking the dick in this scenario? See, I went to my job, I had a Dutch boomer at my job. Let me put this away. Can you still see me? Yeah, good. I had a Dutch boomer at my job. And his name is Bart. Says enough. Dutch boomer comes second day to me, he says, what are you? And I'm like, Bart, I'm a human being, first of all. Second, you know what? I'm biracial. And Bart goes, I asked you what you are, not what you do in the bedroom. What is it with you gays that you always want to let us know you suck dick? I was like, hey, Bart, that's inappropriate, you know, that's disrespectful. And on the other hand, I was thinking, why am I against sucking the dick in this scenario? Yeah. I'm born and raised here. I'm a real Amsterdammer. There's not a lot of us anymore. Like, we're a dying breed. Let's check it out. Is somebody here born and raised in Amsterdam? Okay, that's a first. But you guys have only one girl with you. Two, yeah, start fucking reproducing and shit. Keep the bloodline pure again. No, because what it is, actually, like, I think we are the last 10% that still lives in the city. Yeah, right? Yeah, because the other 90% got deported to a place called Almere. I had a lot of friends of mine who went to jail or went to Almere, and a lot of them are like, I prefer jail. For, you know, the people who don't know, if you ever watch Sopranos, it's like New Jersey. Yeah. But because actually all the locals moving, most of the expats here need to pay a lot of rent. And I went to my old neighborhood and was an expat living in my childhood bedroom. And I asked him, how much are you paying for that room? And he was like, $1,200. I was like, damn, bro. Well, at least you're getting more fucked than I ever did in that room. And the thing is, I grew up here and I know I don't sound, when I speak English, I have an accent. And that accent was more actually because I had a speech impediment. And that speech impediment is called listening to 50 Cent. But it's true though, I had a speech impediment and to get rid of it, you have to listen to music. So my brother, TT, went to the record store, TT is for Trap House Tony. And he bought me 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying, and it helped, which is ironic for somebody that helped me who got shot in the jaw. Well, what I'm happy about now is that on dating apps, you can send voice memos now. But before that, and when I said I'm from Curaçao, my dad is from the UK, women expect me to sound like a Sword Island James Bond and pull up to the table like, fancy a shag. But then you end up with Peter Griffin from Family Guy laughing all. Yeah, I'm not on dating apps anymore because last time I had a date, I had 2 dates, and one of them was beautiful. Her name was Bianca. It was very beautiful, flight attendant, but her humor didn't click. Every time I made a joke with her, it didn't land. It was flying over her head. So that relationship never took off. Yeah, so I'm off the dating apps and I'm getting actually older. I'm trying to find like love in a new way, but also getting older. We were talking like somebody's here 37. Happy birthday, Ahmed. But I'm 36 myself right now. But I noticed when I got to the mid-30s a little bit, what's been changing. Like, for instance, I looked in the mirror and my jawline was missing. And now when I shave, I look like Mr. Potato Head. And another thing that actually happened, they always say, black don't crack. That rule doesn't apply to me. I black and crack. Because one side of my body is fine, but the other side of my body is cracking, so cracking here, cracking there, cracking here. So when I go to the club, I dance like Dua Lipa and shit. What's funny though, I have an older friend who's 46, and I told him, hey, somebody said I dance like Dua Lipa, and he was like, what the fuck is a Dua Lipa? I said the artist. He said I thought it was vagina in Italian. But also because I'm half black, I have an older friend of mine, also Rodney. Rodney's from Suriname. And Rodney was a very activist, went to the BLM protest, where's the Shiki, all of that, came to one of my shows. And he was like, hey, you don't say the N-word. I said, yeah, I think you should. I'm like, why? He said, you should not hide who you are. You should remember who you are. I said, hey, calm down, Mufasa. Because I don't say it because I don't have black features. I have more of the facial features that say Allah Akbar. And also, the other thing also about getting older, getting back to the older, go further, like going back to the older is like also making friends in your mid-30s is pretty hard, It's like you're quickly tired, you're quickly annoyed. And sometimes you have a friend that brings a friend and you don't like that friend. And you tell them, you're like, hey, I don't like your friend. And mostly they give you this shit. But once you get to know them, they're really fun. Like, that's the same as somebody saying, watch this show on Netflix. And you watch the show and it sucks. And then mostly they're like, no, hold on to season 2. To me, that is the same thing. I'm not gonna wait until an idiot gets character development for me to like him. See, if a friend brings a friend now, that friend better be like the first episode of Game of Thrones. I gotta be asking, what are you into? And they gotta be like, fucking my sister. And I'm like, hey, yo, I like you. Yeah, but like I said, I'm more the face that says Allah Akbar. Growing up here, I could be anything. When I go to Italy, I can be Italian. If I go to Spain, I could be Spanish. But here in this country, I'm being considered Moroccan. And I know, because during the Ramadan, I have Dutch people coming at me going like, hey, good luck with the Ramadan, eh? And also, like last week during the Ramadan, I was eating a sandwich in the sun, having my lunch. Enjoying it. And then an old Moroccan dude passed by and he was like, hey. It's not iftar yet. I'm like, hey, my man, I'm not Muslim. And he's like, why not? But it has its perks. It has its perks, though. It has its perks. I was fighting a bigger Dutch dude in a bar, and another Moroccan guy came flying out of nowhere. Knocked him out. And then he was like, I got you, brother. And I was like, shukran. He was like, hey, you wanna hang with me and some homies in the back? So I hanged with him and the homies in the back and pretended I was Moroccan all night. Every time they said something to me, I was like, inshallah, inshallah. Throw a little bit of in there also. But then I got a little bit harder because then they asked my name, and he was like, what's your name, bro? And I'm like, uh-oh. Because my name is Royale. That's like Israel without the is. Now, my dad, Jewish, yes. Did he smoke, huh? Yeah. Good, but they don't know that. You know the type that actually knocks somebody out in a bar. But my dad, Jewish, yes. Did he smoke a lot of weed? Yes. Did he confuse religion, science fiction, and philosophy? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because my name, even that Hebrew, and then even from a Torah, is just from a book called Space Aliens Took Me to Their Home Planet. And I wanted to be original, you know? He asked my name, and I was like, okay, and I was like, what's the name? What's that movie again? Oh, yeah. Dune or Dune Part 2, with a movie with Timothée Chalamet where he plays the white savior of the Des people and shit. And the guy's like, what's your name? I was like, Mohadib, bro, Mohadib. And then it was like, we chilled, had a fun night. I did the Dua Lipa dance again. So I was dancing there and they were just going around me going like, so yeah, guys. So my name is actually Dua Muad'Dib and you were wonderful. So I gotta get out of here. My name is Royale. Have a good night, guys.